We go. Hello there. You've reached Deborah Pratt Johnson Burns. I'm the founder of Literacy to Legacy Mentors, Reframing Your Financial Future. I'm a financial educator and mentor. My Financial Freedom Education and Entrepreneur Spotlight series is a complimentary series Wednesday evenings at 5:30 via Zoom. My intention, goal, and vision is to help people to learn more about finance, law, and lifestyle entrepreneurship. So tonight, I am delighted to feature one of my dear friends, former clients, as well as colleague, Keith Davis. He is the CEO of the Golden Pear Cafes and Catering Company in the Hamptons and has been serving the residents as well as the seasonal clientele beautifully and professionally and perfectly for the past 35 years. I'm so excited for you, Keith. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So this is anniversary month. I'm celebrating 1 year with literacy, so I have a long way to go.
Congratulations. That's excellent.
And 15 years
Fantastic.
with Burns Communication. So it is an anniversary celebration month. And I'm delighted to have you as my 2022 Entrepreneur Spotlight featured guest.
Fantastic. Pleasure to be here. Loved, over the years that we've worked together and known each other, it's been a lot of really positive, excellent energy. So it's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Absolutely love it. Thank you very much. And I feel the same. So I'd really love to know, and so would our audience and our listeners and viewers, what was it, Keith, that motivated you to become a chef? And then that's one major accomplishment. But then all of a sudden you're creating this Golden Pear brand, and then you're spreading out all these cafes, and then you're creating a catering empire. Wow.
Yeah.
So let us talk about that, your beginnings, your humble beginnings.
Well, thank you so much. It has definitely been 35 years is a lifetime. It's a full career for most people. Each day when I wake up, I've got a lot of energy, and I kind of try to set my goals, and it's just been an ongoing process of goal setting and trying to achieve those goals, and to run a great business, a very difficult business, as you know. The Golden Pear is open 7 days a week. We basically close 1 day a year, Christmas Day. So that in itself makes it a very challenging business. But I started washing dishes when I was 14, and I worked with a great chef at that particular restaurant. It was a seafood restaurant, and it was an open kitchen. So we were preparing food right in front of people. And it was very inspiring. I loved the energy. I loved the people. And so that was, definitely very exciting. And I continued to do that for a few years as I went through finishing up through high school. My desire in high school was really to become an architect. That was really my vision and what I wanted to do, but that did not work out. And I ended up studying electrical engineering instead. Wow. My mom and dad were like, hey, look, you're really strong. You're in mathematics, and you're very strong in the sciences. So engineering seems like a natural. And I thought, you know what, why not? So I went to Farmingdale State University, and I studied electrical engineering there for 2 years. And at that time, I also transitioned over to another job in West Hampton Beach, was the Dune Deck Hotel, which had a great restaurant operation, really great chef, and a great team of people that were also, hardworking, very inspiring. And again, the energy, the quality of food, and the quality of service was really at a very high level. And which was very inspiring to me.
Sure.
So I began a career in engineering. I worked for Grumman Aerospace here on Long Island for about 1.5 years. And I left there after my good friend, who was the chef at the Dune Deck Hotel, asked me, hey, there's this really cool place out in East Hampton. I've been asked to be the chef there, and I'm looking for a sous chef. What do you think? So I thought, all right, let me go take a look at it. So I went and I took a ride out to East Hampton. I met him at a place called the Barefoot Contessa, which was back in 1985, 1986. And so I had a great meeting with him. I met Ina Garten, and we had a great meeting, and I ended up getting hired as the sous chef. And so I essentially just let engineering go and decided on a career, in restaurant hospitality. hotel business. I wasn't really sure what that would turn out to be.
Okay.
But after working there for about a year, what's interesting is the chef, his name was Michael Goodison. He used to use the word golden a lot.
Oh,
It was just a term that he would just say, like, this is golden, or that's golden, this and that. And so one day, you know, we're kind of talking about opening up a restaurant together, and I was like, I just thought of it. The golden pear, P-A-I-R, two people, but we could spell it like the fruit. That's just kind of how the
interesting.
brand entered
Very
my mind.
interesting. Yeah.
So before I opened the Golden Pear Cafe, I actually thought of the name, and I had some business cards made up, and I started to do some catering through the
Oh,
Golden Pear brand. And then through fortunate divine events, I was able to secure the location in Southampton, which is an amazing, you know, corner location. It's iconic, and fortunately now we're so very well known. It is one of the places to go to when you come to the Hamptons. So that's kind of how things got started, Deb. I really wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. I was entrepreneurial. I decided it was going to be in the hospitality realm. I started doing some catering. I had a lot of restaurant experience. I had cooking experience, front of the house experience, back of the house, and then this gourmet food store that Ina Garten had created was just another beautiful experience of a whole new realm of food that was really just starting out in the Hamptons. Prior to Ina being there, Dean and DeLuca was in East Hampton,
ah,
for example.
yes.
And
Remember
the
it well.
Silver Palette was
Oh, yes,
was
of
a
course.
big, beautiful, you know,
Julie
those were really
Russo.
the pioneers of the gourmet food business, you
That's
know,
right.
gourmet food stores and stuff like that. So the amazingly, what helped shape the Golden Pear concept of it being sort of a cafe, sort of a gourmet food store, was not only my background and my experience, but it was also the zoning of the location.
Ah, okay.
It
Okay.
was not a restaurant C of O, and it was a retail food store C of O, but we had the special exception to do the seating. And so I was kind of navigating through, okay, should we do a gourmet food store similar to Barefoot Contessa, or should I do a restaurant similar to the Dune Deck, and the other place is called the Albatross Seafood Restaurant? So it just kind of developed where I said, all right, let's get the business open and operating. We'll figure it out. So it was
Great.
just kind of a hybrid concept between the two.
Sure. Yeah.
And I had a lot more gourmet food store type things in the Golden Pear than what you would see today, like you've seen.
Oh.
And basically just through listening to customers,
Hmm.
they wanted to sit down, they wanted to eat in the cafe, outside, this and that. So the Golden Pear Cafe essentially developed in that way through my restaurant experience, gourmet food store experience, catering experience, and the location, and what I could do in that location is what
Right.
kind of helped
Right.
forge what the Golden Pear is today. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a tremendous evolution and very
Yeah.
exciting to learn that. You know, we never quite know what the universe has in store for us,
Yes.
what our calling is, and what are the divine intervention, et cetera. And I appreciate
Sure.
and I believe that.
Amen.
If someone were doing the same thing that you had done 35 years ago, what advice would you give them?
You know, I was thinking about this, and having, you know, 3 children. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I would ever recommend something like that I did and had to do. I don't know if I'd recommend that to anybody else,
Okay.
because it is so difficult. It's
Yes.
so challenging, and it is so stressful. I really don't know if many people would be up for that tackling of an opportunity such as that.
Right.
But with that said, if there was someone
Yes.
that had the entrepreneurial spirit and the drive and the desire to do a business such as that, or something similar to that,
Right.
not having a background in finance and business, I should have relied more on my accountant and my attorney
Okay.
at the
That's good
time
advice. That's good
to
advice.
establish, to really establish the business.
Right.
I was essentially flying by the seat of my pants.
Okay.
I knew I had an
Fair
awesome
enough.
location. I knew that I had a great concept. I knew that I had the experience to produce the food and experience that I knew the market needed
Right.
and would support and we would provide into.
Mhm.
That is really what helped us achieve the initial and ongoing success, is that you have a brand and a product that is perfectly situated in a perfect market for that brand and product and services.
Yeah, you're
So
absolutely
the
right.
formulation of that was absolutely wonderful. And
Yes.
that's really what helped us. I can tell you, Deborah, I remember when I found that location, I actually said to myself, and I still remember today, I could sell hot dogs and hamburgers here and make a living
Wow.
because
That's
this
quite
location
remarkable.
is so amazing.
It is.
But knowing what I was going to be producing and going to be selling, and knowing that it was the Hamptons, that was one, of a market that um, obviously is, highly educated, affluent, really enjoys and loves and seeks out high quality, prepared foods, etc. I knew that that was just gonna, was gonna work just fine, and I knew that there would be, enough of those people to support the business.
Sure. Sure.
Definitely in the summertime, but the wintertime was the greatest challenge of, and
Oh, of
still
course.
is actually challenging for that. But
Right. I
yeah.
think also, Keith, and
So
that's excellent advice, and I appreciate the honesty and the candid nature of this
yep,
question and answer, because, people don't really know what is going to evolve.
right,
And I think the most important thing, and why you're so successful, based on what I know personally and what people have told me and what I've read, is that you have your ear to the ground of exactly what your client wants, and you deliver it and do it with style, panache, and class, period.
100%.
So
Yes, so we
that,
never take our eye,
right,
myself and my team, which is an awesome team, we can never, and it probably goes for any business, you just, you can't take your eye off the ball, so to speak,
no, never.
because whatever, regardless of what you're doing, whatever the business is, there's
Mhm.
always a sense of, there's vulnerability,
Yes,
there's always competition, there's unforeseen competition that's forthcoming. I felt like the past 20 years, all I have been doing is battling off competition.
interesting. Wow.
As
Okay.
Starbucks has come into the market,
Sure,
Citarella has come into the market.
sure.
These are very powerful brands
They
that
are.
are very well financed,
Yes,
and can spend oogles of money on marketing that typically a small entrepreneur, one, doesn't have the know-how and doesn't have the money
right.
to do that. So fortunately, we've been able to sustain, with those kinds of thoughts and ideas. Just want to just back up one thing is, if anybody was going to start that business, I mean, sitting down with your accountant is probably the most important step that you should take before signing anything.
Hmm.
And building the business plan, a
That's
3
exactly
to
right.
5 year
That's exactly
model,
right. Yes.
and really be honest with yourself, be honest with the process, be honest with your accountant, do that research of maybe similar types of businesses that you're in, that you're looking to get involved in, to kind of get an understanding as, can I make money with this
Right. Right.
or not, because, if you can't make six figures within 2 years, 3 years,
Right.
it's not worth doing. It's not worth the risk,
That's right.
especially if you're entrepreneurial and you have an education. You can get a very good job, pretty
Well,
much
exactly.
many places right now. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, that meeting with that accountant and is what I did not do. It was, again, fly by the seat of your pants and just get it done, get it opening, and we'll make money.
But
Uh,
exactly
you
right.
know,
But I think
yeah,
also you are a Hamptons resident, and they love the local flavor, mom and pop kind of feel. Not
yeah,
everyone loves the big brand world and the big brand experience. They want more personalized. That's why you're successful. I think
Yes.
also keep in mind that most entrepreneurs don't realize, and I've now run 2 companies and did the very same thing that you're suggesting, the business plan and the modeling and all of that,
Yep.
you break even in the first 5 years if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. And 25% of companies don't last beyond 15 years.
Amazing.
Seriously. So, we know what it takes to be entrepreneurs and to be honest with ourselves. And I agree
Yep.
with you that you have to constantly assess,
Yes.
where are we going? Why are we going there? And how are we going to get there? And with whom?
Correct.
So,
100%.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's critically important. Do you have
Yes.
any mentors or people that have helped you to remain motivated, jazzed, excited about your business, waking up, getting into business every day?
There's not, I would say, my mom was very inspirational to me. My mom had 5 children, grew up in a blue collar community on Long Island, was a stay-at-home mom, who was incredible at raising 5 children.
Exactly.
One of my mom's greatest assets was she was so into building her children's self-esteem.
Oh,
And
that's
so
beautiful.
fortunately, I had a mom that was extremely supportive, always, asking you to do more and, to do it right and to go out there and make it happen. And that was very inspiring, her love and her attention and her encouragement like that was, it really stays in your spirit in your brain as a human being. So
Yes.
my dad was just quieter. He was a very hardworking man, just more quiet. He
Sure.
just wasn't in that way very, more extroverted like my mom, like myself.
Right.
Just a little bit more introspective and had always good things to say. Wonderful man, worked so hard. His work ethic is what really was very inspiring.
Oh, sure.
To me as well. But to your point, and it's a very interesting thing about who I am as a person. Over time, I have thought about, kind of like seeking out a mentor.
Sure.
I was kind of part of what was called Tech at the time. It's now Vistage.
Okay.
I was part of a group like that, local entrepreneurs in Southampton, and our chairperson was very good. He was very smart, and we went through the processes of talking about. But to your, I mean, like a true mentor, I have never found one,
Okay.
and I've never had one find me.
Okay.
I've thought about it. I have talked to people,
And that's
and
perfectly fine.
so
Maybe
what
not
it,
yet.
yeah, like really what it's come back to, that is really God and Jesus and some of the amazing people in the Bible,
Sure.
King
Sure.
David,
Those
Solomon,
examples. Yep.
their lives, and I study their lives and how they, did what they did, and they are so they are mentors to me in that regard. But sometimes I've just thought is like I've had the desire for that particular person, and you know what? It just hasn't happened, and I don't know why. So you get up every day, you've got this brand, you've got this company, you're leading a team of people, and you have bills to pay, you have financial obligations, legal obligations. If that doesn't
Yeah.
motivate you to get your butt out of bed and go get it done,
Yeah, you're absolutely
and
right.
having a beautiful, wonderful wife and
Yes.
3 beautiful children that thank God they've been through college now, and they're working hard and building their lives and their career. But going back 30 years ago, 25, 20 years ago, having those things and responsibilities, it gets you out of bed and it drives you,
Oh my
to
God,
do
yes.
what's
Oh,
got to be done.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm
Yep.
sure, to your point, there are other people in your lives, in your community that you've created, including your own family members. I'm sure you've talked to me about your brother and others and your
Sure.
mom, that,
Yes.
they maybe peripherally have been a tremendous influence in your life, whether it's been
Sure.
overt and, your actual mentor or not. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, because those are influencers in your life that have made a difference. So
100%.
that's the good news.
And
Tell
you and
me,
I have had some great
oh
conversations.
my
You've
God,
been helpful.
thank
You've been
you.
very
Thank
helpful. You've
you.
been very encouraging, very inspiring
Well, I
from the
appreciate
times
that.
that we've met together. And you have that wonderful way of communicating, excellence, energy, high performance, which, it's
Thank
why,
you.
I think it's why we enjoy, collaborating together.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. I
Yeah.
absolutely agree with that, because
Yeah.
there's not many people who either get my energy or who can keep up with it. I understand. Yeah. So,
That's
are there
great.
any final sort of pearls of wisdom about your business that you'd like to share with the listeners and viewers? This is, if you want to share also where you're located, what you actually do at each of these locations, that would be helpful for context. So
Yeah.
people understand this is not only a seasonal business, it is a year-round business. And you do, tell them a little bit about the actual business would be helpful.
Yeah. Perseverance is probably my greatest strong point.
Mhm.
I once again, you set your goals for the year in January, and the one thing, that I wrote down, and I was reading a book in big bold letters. Winners never quit, and losers never win.
Exactly.
So if you think about that, and you let that be part of a number of guiding lights and signs for you.
Mantras.
I hate losing.
I'm right there with you.
I hated losing when I played a baseball game when I was in the first grade,
Right.
or the third, or played a football game. I hate losing. So winning becomes the objective in what you're trying to do. So for people that are looking to start a business, you must understand that perseverance and the carry through and dealing with the numerous problems and issues, it's not maybe, it's just when.
Right.
And it can
Right.
happen at any time.
That's right.
Someone's going to quit. Someone is going to sue you. Somebody is not going to like this. Someone's going to do this. What amazes me is human nature. Being in the retail food store catering world and being in touch with so many human beings,
Right.
both on the employment side and also on the other side, you
Sure.
get to understand human nature in a very powerful way.
Sure do.
But at the end of the day, really, the pillars of human characteristic of truthfulness, honesty, integrity, delivering the best that you can and not cutting any corners. We don't cut corners. We don't sell things that are maybe a little old and maybe you could get it. No. It goes in the garbage,
Right.
So that, and that's just applicable to any business that anybody is getting. Your commitment to excellence,
yes, I'm on that.
must come
100%.
from within. I mean,
I agree.
it really is something that you're born with, but it can be developed over time too, with meditation and prayer.
Yes.
My faith in God, and reading literature, whether it's the Holy Scriptures and other business stories of people that have
Yes.
done amazing things.
Right.
That's what keeps you inspired and keeps you on the path toward winning.
Absolutely.
But you need the financing. You
That's right.
need the right amount of capital
That's right.
to get it where it's got to be. Otherwise, I've run out of money. We've made money. I've lost money. We've run
Right.
out of money. It's a crazy thing. So funding the company in the proper way, which isn't easy, is a very, very important thing, because the cash it's the blood of the business, and when
It
you
is.
run out of it, it dies. So
I understand
there's
completely.
so
And
many
totally.
wonderful ideas, as you know, the brands, the wonderful ideas that have commenced and ran out of money, and it's sad because they could have been great iconic brands, but it's just the way it is.
It is the way it is. And I think
Yeah.
it's also an assessment to your point about honesty, integrity, and really understanding your audience and really understanding your vision and really fulfilling your vision in whatever capacity you're able to.
Right.
I honestly do believe that the financing is pretty critical,
Yep.
and the realistic spend. So what
Yes.
do you think you're going to spend in the first year? Make a goal, make a vision, make a business plan, right?
Right.
And what are you going to achieve from a sales standpoint? And
Yes.
when are you going to break even? And are you self-financed, or are you capitalized by rounds of influence in terms of capitalization? Are you getting your capital from venture? Are you getting it from angel investors, et
Right.
cetera? And I think, that's an important consideration. I do know a number
Huge.
of entrepreneurs actually have used, and I think it's a smart idea, actually, as long as you don't take advantage of it too much, is the home equity line of credit. For
Sure.
many, many, many years, that has been the cheapest money you could ever borrow, ever,
Right.
and easy money. Now, that may not
Correct.
continue, unfortunately, so
Right.
we'll have to look for other sources, right? But
Exactly.
I think it's important. I also am a believer in investment spending. Like, you'll
Sure.
know when you get the return on investment that you're getting, that you need, you have to
Correct.
spend a little more because you need the quality, right?
Yes.
So that's to your
100%.
point about not cost cutting, et cetera, because I'm not interested in that at all. But
Sure.
to your point, you're in a retail cyclical business, meaning, ebb and flow. The products are great. You want to create new products. You want to evolve the products. You want to evolve the offerings, for that matter. So
Yes.
you've not only opened the cafes, but then you opened a catering company, and now you also have products that are private label, Golden
Yep.
Pear private label. I think
Yep.
you're also showcasing, as I recall, a number of products from your partners in the Hamptons as a nice
Yes.
community collaboration,
Correct.
which is really, you don't see other brands doing that.
No.
So that's very attractive, I think, as
Sure.
a key point of differentiation.
Yes.
You know, that's
And
wonderful.
marketing too, Deb, as you know, through your years and years of
Yes,
marketing and communications, is many entrepreneurs, there's something that they do very well, and they think like, oh, all right, so I make these muffins really good. Well, maybe I could sell 1 million muffins in 3 years. Well, you might be able to, but you make good muffins. But do you have any understanding of marketing? Do you have any
right,
understanding?
right,
Who's going to buy your muffins?
exactly.
Why would they want to
Why?
buy your
Right.
muffins? What's better about it? And it costs a lot of money
Right.
to convince people, to
That's
educate
very
people
true.
about
Yes.
your brand,
Yes.
about your product. Okay, what's in it? Why is it better than ABCD muffins? So
Right.
people that are entrepreneurial and want to open their own business, they really have got to become a student of marketing
Yes.
and an expert
That's very
at
true.
marketing. I
I
spend
would
more
agree.
time, at this point, 35 years in business, 65% of
Oh, yeah.
my time is on marketing
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
finding more. Well, we're in business 35 years. You think, oh my God, you have all the customers that you need. No,
No,
every day
right.
it's, where are we going to find new customers?
That's right.
How do we get more people into the door? That's
That's
all I
exactly
think
right.
about. And so any entrepreneur, whatever your business, I don't care what it is, you
It
have
doesn't
to be
matter. You're
thinking
right.
about,
You're absolutely
how
right.
do I get there? Because like when you build the plan with your accountant, you're like, all right, so yeah, we're going to project we're going to do 100,000 this month. All right, fine. So $3,000 a day. Where are you going to get those sales from?
Exactly.
Well, how many customers? What's
And are
the
they,
average
I
sale?
think most
Yeah,
importantly, Keith, are those sales sustainable?
right.
And is there a good ROI on the individual per unit cost? Or are you spending too much on the per unit cost and you're sort
Right.
of blowing money, right? Which
Right.
a lot of companies do. I don't
Yep.
care how brilliant they are.
Correct.
So I
And it's like I
agree that,
said, it's very expensive, the front load. And when we were looking at, I kind of equate it to a rocket. When a rocket is taking off,
yeah,
90% of the fuel is expended in the first minute.
exactly.
You manage? I mean, that's incredible.
It is incredible.
So when you apply that to marketing and you're starting a new business, I'll tell you, in the first year, the amount of money,
Yes,
fuel, that's going to be expended, toward marketing and people, that it's tremendous. It's probably
it
more
really
than
is.
most people would think.
I agree. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more, because I've done it and I'm doing
Yep.
it. And
Yep.
also, I think I might add to your point before of really studying your market
Yes.
and study your competitors, if they're
100%.
so-called competitors. because they may have a totally different market focus than you do. They may be doing different things than you are. It just doesn't mean that just because they're successful and they're doing that, that you should do that. It has to fit with the brand. It has to be very symbiotic, if you will. So I completely get that.
Yeah.
And, you know, tell us about your vision, your exit strategy. What does the Golden Pear look like in the next 10 years, 20 years?
So I've spent quite a bit of time thinking about these things. I'm going to turn 59 in a few weeks.
Okay.
And I still feel like I'm 30.
Thank God, me too, honey. We're in that club.
You know, we're healthy. Amen.
Thank you, God.
That's probably the other most important thing for entrepreneurs is to stay active and really take care of yourself.
Mentally, physically, and spiritually. I love that you take vacations. I'm a big proponent. Absolutely. Staycations, vacations, whatever it takes. Because, you know, you run hard, you better play hard.
And lots of rest, you know, getting good sleep and, you know, like we've talked about nutrition and things like that. It's very important. You only have this body, and this is what you've got. This is what God has given us.
That's right.
And so you got to take care of it. And if you want it to really produce for the long haul, you know, you've got to take care of it.
I agree.
And entrepreneurs get beat up. You know, we get beat up physically, we get beat up mentally, we get beat up spiritually. So the replenishing and the resting and the refueling and training, you know, a lot of times I equate things back to athletics because I am an athlete, was an athlete for many years. So, you know, resting and eating well and hydrating and, you know, is so important. But I'm looking at, we've got a great brick and mortar company now with 3 beautiful locations in the Hamptons. The catering business is such that we can deliver. So we've got 2 large catering vehicles. So we don't need a shop in Montauk or Sag Harbor.
Right. Which is
we
tremendous.
cater from West Hampton to Montauk. So that's another nice market there. But goldenpear.com and the development of more branded products and whatnot is really the focus. So we're retaining a marketing firm. We're redoing our website for the first time in about 6 or 7 years.
Great.
All of the products are being looked at, gone through, analyzed, new packaging, new branding, make it just beautiful, clean, wholesome from the Hamptons. And so that's what's going to be coming out in the next 12 months, you know, is a real big.
That's exciting. That's very exciting.
You know, it is. Because the New York market is massive. It's 24 million people.
Right.
And there's a lot of affluence, you know, and we love to sell into your neighborhood.
Yes,
I'm
exactly.
Sure that you and your friends
I wish you would come here.
Crumb muffins. If I could deliver to you in a day or two, you know, some even soups and our wonderful gourmet chili. Our chili is the best, you know.
I agree.
So we're looking at building goldenpear.com. So we've got brick and mortar, and then we got e-commerce. And we'll build that. I love what I do. I love the brand. I see myself working for a minimum of 5 to 7, you know, maybe even 10 years of.
I agree. I'm there with you.
Continual building of the brand. So that's
good.
That's just kind of what we're doing. Yeah.
I love it. I think it sounds exciting, and you're a visionary and a successful entrepreneur, and you know that's why I'm featuring people such as yourself, and very particular about who I feature because your business is really stood the test of time. You are involved in the community. You're a reliant brand and business that keeps the heartbeat of the Hamptons going, frankly.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you and I've both seen so many companies evolve in and out of there, and you're still there. And there's a lot to be said for that. So applause to you. Happy anniversary. I'm super excited for you. And I look forward to seeing you. I was actually in Jamesport the other day. And I said, I've got to go see Keith, but we just couldn't swing it. So we're going to come over and see you, and I'll make sure that you know when.
Sounds great.
All right. Sounds fantastic. Well, listen, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for all these pearls and insights. I think they're all brilliant and very practical.
Beautiful.
And I suggest we all go over to the Golden Pear. Tell us where you're located, Keith, and your phone number, if you would.
So my office is at the Golden Pear at 99 Main Street in Southampton.
Awesome.
You can reach me at 631-287-4242. extension 4. You can also email me at Keith, Keith, goldenpear@gmail.com.
Fantastic. And you have locations in Southampton, Bridgehampton, and East Hampton, correct?
Yes, yes.
Brilliant.
Our website is www.goldenpear.com.
Well, I am just so happy to have you today as our guest, and I know that everyone will be absolutely thrilled to listen in and learn about what it takes to be the best and sustain the excellence over time. And I applaud you for doing that. And it also tastes amazing, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome.
Appreciate your friendship and your inspiration and your drive and energy. It's wonderful, Deb. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you as well. And I hope you all have a great